I know this is a few days ago when I released my update video explaining about the hiatus, but today I'm going to be explaining why I was in the hospital, using MMD pictures to explain. Well, this is the first time of me doing this, but yeah, you get the idea. Even though my 8th stay at the hospital was not very pleasant. It wasn't. Being poked, blood drawn for testing, this and that. Yeah, it was a real unpleasant time. But anyways, I am going to get into some few details that I do remember when I was going through the hospital process. Of course, this happened at the beginning of April. Like a few days later, I just came home from work and fell asleep. I didn't think of anything of it. But then when I woke up, my face started to feel kind of swelling. So I decided to go to my mom's room to show what was happening to my face. When I went to my mom's room, she was kind of panicking because my face was swelling up for some reason. So we decided to go to the clinic. It was my sister Tiffany, me, and my dad went to the emergency clinic, but I didn't remember my certain card because I didn't have it with me, but I remember the numbers to it. Yeah, going to that clinic was very a waste of time, and they were a bunch of jerks because I didn't remember a certain card for my insurance. Even though my dad tried to pay out of pocket, they still refused that because they only prioritize the people that do have their insurance card, which is kind of fucked up. So we tried going to a different clinic, and yes, they took me in, checked me and everything, but that's when things started to become very strange. Yeah, even though they did check me and everything, but they're also kind of scaring me and my dad during the process of this weird doctor. I don't know, again, it was kind of weird. Giving a suggestion to go to a different hospital to get treated. Yeah, like I said, it wasn't fun because the doctors were scaring me and my dad at that time. So then we finally went to a different hospital. My dad had dropped me and my mom off so they could, again, do a checkup on me for my swelling in the face. So yeah, after we waited in the waiting room, I had to leave my mom at the waiting room so they could do all sorts of tests and x-ray scans so they could find out what exactly is causing my face to swell up on the right side. Of course, from time to time, my mom had to wait in the waiting room with all the other people waiting to see the doctor. She was mainly there waiting for me to return back to the seat and see what happens afterwards. And then this is the part where it gets kind of frustrating and mainly agonizing as well. Waiting for the doctor. Of course, we finally get into a room where we have to wait for the doctor to come and give us some answers on what's going on with my face. Of course, my mother was upset because all we heard was nothing but talking while the other nurses were gossiping this and that, and we're just there waiting for the room, waiting for the doctor to come in. Yeah, it was a real pain of waiting. And yes, I was just lying there waiting for the doctor to come in, but then they closed the door. But we still heard the conversation. I was just like, come on. Just put a needle in my cheek and just take it out already. I'm already at a little bit of pain at this point. Yeah. And then finally, the doctor came into the room, told us my situation. And of course, after that, they put me on a gurney thing to wait in another room to be prepared for surgery. I don't remember what happened much. But what I do know is that my mom was waiting in a different area while I was in the operating room. But I didn't remember any much of that because I was under while they were operating me. So yeah, after the first few days, they put a tube near my neck just to drain out whatever it was. They did do the surgery. Like I said, it wasn't fun after being poked hours. Well, every 2 hours, the doctors will come in, do a blood testing, and then more needle poking. But I wasn't exactly alone during the hospital stay for 8 days. Of course, my mom did stay with me from hospital and then a few days. It was my little brother's turn to stay with me for a while in the hospital, which was okay because after, I'm trying to remember, like the 5th or 4th, again, it was a long 8-day stay at the hospital. But I was able to walk around after day 5. There you go, day 5. I was walking around after being put on a liquid food diet. Wasn't fun. It wasn't really fun at all. And then, of course, the rest of my family, my first older sister, and of course my niece. My niece did came to visit me. My first older sister's daughter. That's the best way I could put it. Then my second older sister did try her best to visit me. Then I had other family members visit me at the hospital. So yeah, that's what been happening to me for the past 8 days. So yeah, that's the reason why I have the entire hiatus and all that. So yeah, that's what happened to me for 8 days being at the hospital. So yeah. Again, sorry about the hiatus. Things happen. But I will say that I will be trying to do more of this kind of format of using MMD pictures to explain some things. So yeah, I'll be back with more videos soon. Be on the lookout. And of course, my sister Tiffany will be returning with me as well. And that's pretty much it. What I went through during the hospital. But like I said, it wasn't fun. Being stuck there in the bed, having doctors come in every 2 hours, being poked, have blood drawn out of you just to get tested some more. So yeah, it turns out it was a wisdom tooth cyst infection. So yeah, I'm doing fine. I'm at home. Can't really return to work until next month. But we do got some good stuff coming. So have a good day. Good night. Bye.